This video will cover how to create or edit a cover letter with the Illinois workNet Resume Builder tool. To access this tool on workNet, log into your account, and then when you're logged in the banner here, click the Resumes button here. You'll then be redirected to Skills First. And if this is your first time accessing Skills First, you'll need to check the box to agree to the terms and click the Accept button. From here, you can select the button, Create a Cover Letter. And we have a few options here. We can upload the cover letter and optimize it with keywords. We can edit a sample, or we can start from scratch and build our own cover letter. In this video, we're going to choose the edit sample option. So when we make this selection, we'll see several cover letter templates. We'll then make a selection. So let's say this one. And then we're going to select the cover letter type. And so the types in here include accepting a job offer, declining a job offer, following up with an employer if you say had an interview and you're waiting to hear back. We have some other options here, but in this case, we're going to select the follow-up option. So when we click that title, we'll then see additional options here where we can see in the parentheses after the titles if it's an entry-level position or if you're experienced. And some other information here. So we're going to go ahead and click this option here to get a preview of it. And when we do that, we will see the cover letter up close. And if it is what we're needing, you can take a look there. And if this is the one you want, you'll click Use This Sample. If you wanted to select another one, you can press the back button and go from there. But we're going to click the Use This Sample option. And then from here, we are now ready to update the cover letter with our information. And so the way we can do that, we can see that some of this information was plugged in, the name, email, and phone number tied to your account. And to edit the other information that's included in the cover letter, just click this Edit button here. And we'll see the different sections that are included in this cover letter. So we have our information, the recipient information, and the body of the letter. So to make any changes, to plug in your experience, all you have to do is click in the text box and update it accordingly. And there's some other fields that you can add to your cover letter. And we'll click Save. And that's the information section there. So then the recipient information, if we need to change the date of the cover letter, we can do so. If we need to change the name of the recipient, we can do that there. Job title, organization, address, phone and email, and so forth. And when we make changes to these different sections, instead of clicking to the next section, you'll want to be sure to press the green Save button so that information that you just updated is kept in the cover letter. So for instance, we can delete out what we may not need, and then we can update it with our experience and information as needed. So let's see if we just make this one bullet point here. And click Save. So then once you make the updates to the different sections in your cover letter, you can get a preview. So if we press this blue button here, we'll then get a preview of that updated cover letter. So we can see the zip code that we changed before was updated, the name of the recipient, the date, and a lot of the text that was in there before we took out. And so you can get a sense of what that cover letter looks like. So if we go back to edit, something I want to point out is, within the letter body section, we have examples. You may see that next to each text box. And so if we click on those, we'll get examples of other frequently used text, terminology, the way to bring up or discuss things within the cover letter. And if we want to use that option, we will check the box there and click Done. And so then we can see that information was plugged into that line there. And there's also, beneath each text box here, hints and tips on, what to, or, how to address those different fields that, you can use to, if you're not clear on, a certain title. This one here brings up if you're not sure about the hiring manager's gender, you can use dear followed by their first and last name rather than Mr. or Miss or Mrs. So just different things like that to keep in mind as you're putting together and building your cover letter. And if you need to change templates at any time, once you're done editing, click save here. If you wanted to, you looked at the preview and you weren't really sure if this was the preview that you want, or the template and structure of the cover letter that you wanted to use, you can easily change the template by pressing this change template button and picking a new one from the options that are available. Let's go ahead and select this one. And then once that refreshes, we'll then see that some of this information moved around according to the new template that we offered there. Another thing that I want to point out is this AI keyword suggestions button. Now, this may be a little bit more relevant to resumes, but it also pertains to cover letters as well. So if you click this AI keyword suggestions, a box will open up on the right where you can paste the job description and get recommendations for terminology to use in your cover letter to increase the likelihood that your cover letter will pass the ATS, or the applicant tracking system, and get into the hands of hiring managers. So ATS, or the applicant tracking system, is a software that employers use to help sort, organize, and store applicants' resumes and cover letters. And the system allows employers for filtering features that they can use to narrow down their results, including certain terminology. So making sure your documents kind of align with that job posting will be really important, so it does get in the hands of the hiring managers. So we're going to to see how this will work here. We'll go ahead and paste. This was a job description for a billing manager, and so what it'll do is it'll kind of compare what you've entered in your cover letter and what the job description reads. So we're going to go ahead and press this Get Suggestions button. And then a little bit further down, we'll see that in this case, there are no matching keywords, but the suggested keywords are included below. And so it's also broken down by competency, action verbs, job interactions, and job tasks. So what you can do is take a look at these words and see how you can integrate them into your cover letter so that it helps stand out more, and that it does pass through that applicant tracking system, and again get into the hands of the hiring managers. So definitely be sure to utilize this feature with the cover letters and resumes as well. And so when we're done editing the cover letter, there's a few icons above that I want to point out. This first one here, we can download it as a Word document. This next button here is to clone the cover letter or make a copy of it. So if you liked this version, but you wanted to tweak it a little bit more, but you wanted to keep this version, this is a good way to make a copy, and then you can edit it differently, and then compare to see which one would work best for you. This button here, we can edit the name and the description of the cover letter. We can download it as a PDF, or if we needed to, we can delete it as well. This button here, the share button, if you select this icon, you can select to share this with a viewer who will only have access to view your cover letter. And then there's a couple other options, editor and reviewer. A reviewer is allowed to to add notes and comments to your cover letter and provide feedback that way. While an editor, they can add comments as well, but they can also make changes to your document. But in this case, we're going to select viewer, And then the permissions with, we're going to select anybody with a link. That way you have a URL here that goes right to your cover letter that you can copy and paste and share with somebody that way. And if we scroll up here, in this breadcrumb trail here, if we click letters, we can see the previously saved cover letters that we've worked on. And if you press the galleries text up here, we'll be taken back to an overview of where our previously saved documents such as resumes, portfolios, practice interviews, elevator pitches, and so forth are saved here. Thanks for watching this video, and be sure to watch the other videos in this series to learn about the Illinois WorkNet Resume Builder tool.